Did you know that the type of cheese you eat after 50 could be either helping your body, or slowly working against it? This may surprise you, but recent studies from places like Harvard and Michigan have shown something most people have never heard. Some cheeses, when eaten just a couple of times a week, can support your brain, your bones, and even your heart. Others, yes, even the ones we've loved for decades, can quietly trigger issues like high blood pressure, inflammation, or digestion troubles as we age. I'll share with you 3 cheeses that are incredibly beneficial after 50, nutritionally powerful and easy to digest, and 3 you should seriously consider cutting back on, even if they've been your go-to favorites for years. The right choices can make a real difference, and you deserve to feel your best. Now, before we jump in, I'd love to know, where are you tuning in from? Comment below and share your city. I always enjoy hearing from you. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more tips like these. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming up next. Point 1. Goat cheese. Now, I've spoken to so many folks who say things like, I love cheese, but it doesn't love me back. Maybe it gives you bloating, or stomach cramps, or just leaves you feeling heavy. That's more common than you'd think after 50. And no, it's not your imagination. Our digestive systems naturally slow down with age. The enzymes that used to easily break down fats and proteins? We just don't make as much of them anymore. That's where goat cheese comes in. Goat cheese is made from milk that has smaller fat molecules than cow's milk, around 40% smaller. That makes it much easier for our bodies to digest, especially if you're dealing with a sensitive stomach or mild lactose intolerance. It also contains a different kind of protein, called A2-casein, that's gentler on your gut. So if regular cheese leaves you feeling uncomfortable, goat cheese might be a whole different experience. But it's not just about avoiding discomfort. Goat cheese actually gives your body things it needs more of after 50. It's rich in calcium, which is essential for maintaining bone strength as our natural bone density starts to decline. It also contains selenium, an antioxidant that helps support your immune system, and probiotics, those good bacteria that help balance your gut and reduce inflammation. You don't need a huge amount to get the benefit. Just 2 to 3 servings a week, about the size of a pair of dice, is enough. I personally love crumbling a little goat cheese over roasted vegetables, or spreading it on whole grain toast with a light drizzle of honey. The flavor is tangy and rich, so a little really does go a long way. Point 2. Swiss cheese. Now let's talk about a cheese that doesn't just taste good, it actually supports 2 of the most important things we need to protect after 50, our heart and our bones. I'm talking about Swiss cheese. You've probably had it on a sandwich or melted over a burger, but most people don't realize that Swiss cheese is actually one of the healthiest choices out there for older adults. And no, it's not just because it's lower in lactose, though that helps too. The real reason Swiss cheese stands out is because of what it has, and also what it doesn't have. Let's start with the sodium. Most cheeses are loaded with salt, which can be a problem for anyone watching their blood pressure. But Swiss cheese contains 50 to 60% less sodium compared to many common varieties like cheddar or American. That's a big deal. After 50, high blood pressure becomes a concern for many of us, and keeping sodium in check is a smart move. But here's where Swiss cheese really shines: it contains a nutrient called vitamin K2. You won't hear much about it in everyday nutrition talks, but this one's important. Vitamin K2 helps guide calcium to where it belongs, your bones, instead of letting it build up in your arteries. That means it supports strong bones while also helping to keep your arteries clear. 2 major benefits from one slice of cheese. There's even research behind this. A 2021 study in the Journal of Nutrition found that people who regularly consumed foods high in K2 had better arterial health and stronger bone density. And because Swiss cheese is aged, it also has less lactose, which makes it gentler on digestion, a win-win for those of us whose tummies aren't quite as tough as they used to be. Now you don't need to go overboard. Just 1 ounce a few times a week, about the size of your thumb, is enough. I love layering it on whole grain toast with tomato slices, or melting it into scrambled eggs. It also pairs wonderfully with apples for a simple lunch or snack. Point 3. Feta cheese. Let's move on to a cheese that's been a quiet part of Mediterranean diets for centuries and might just be one of the best choices you can make for your immune system and overall gut health: feta cheese. If you've ever had a Greek salad, you've seen feta, that crumbly white cheese with a sharp, tangy taste. But what most people don't know is that feta offers more than just flavor. It's packed with probiotics, which are the good bacteria your gut needs to function properly. And after 50, keeping your gut healthy becomes even more important, because your gut health affects your immunity, your digestion, and even your mood. Let me explain. As we age, the balance of bacteria in our digestive tract starts to shift. Our bodies become less efficient at absorbing nutrients, and we become more sensitive to inflammation. That's why a healthy gut is your first line of defense. And feta, thanks to the way it's made, with a traditional fermentation process, is rich in the kind of probiotics that help restore and support that balance. There's also high-quality protein in feta, and it's in a form that's easy to digest. That's crucial, especially because muscle mass naturally begins to decline after 50. Just a quarter cup of feta gives you about 4 grams of protein, which helps keep your muscles strong and your energy up. And let's not forget calcium. Feta's got plenty of it, and that's key to protecting your bones as they age. It's like getting 3 benefits in one bite: stronger bones, better digestion, and a supported immune system. Now, you don't need to eat a lot. A few tablespoons, 2 or 3 times a week, is enough. I love adding it to chickpea bowls, tossing it on top of scrambled eggs, or mixing it into roasted vegetables. The flavor is bold, so a small amount gives you a big payoff. One tip when shopping: look for authentic feta made from goat or sheep's milk. It's usually stored in brine and found in the specialty cheese section. If the label says feta style or is made from cow's milk, it might not have the same benefits. Feta is more than a salad topping. It's a functional food, meaning it actively supports the systems in your body that matter most as you age. If you're looking to strengthen your immunity and keep your gut happy, this is one cheese worth making space for in your fridge. Part 4. How to shop smart for cheese after 50. Alright, now that we've talked about the best cheeses for your health after 50, let's talk about something just as important: how to shop for them. Have you ever stood in front of the cheese section at the store and just stared? You're not alone. There are so many choices: blocks, crumbles, slices, tubs, and all kinds of labels: natural, artisanal, low-fat, organic. It can feel overwhelming, even for someone who's been shopping for decades. Let's start with goat cheese. The good stuff is usually soft, creamy, and pure white in color. You want to avoid anything that smells too strong or off. If it smells like ammonia, it's likely past its prime. Most grocery stores like Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, or even standard chains now carry small logs or rounds of plain goat cheese. If you're not sure, just ask for a sample. Trust your nose and your gut. If it smells fresh and has a clean, slightly tangy scent, you're good to go. Next up, Swiss cheese. The classic kind comes in blocks or slices and has those little holes called eyes. Good Swiss cheese should be pale yellow, with a mild, nutty aroma. If you're buying pre-sliced, check the packaging date. Flavor fades quickly once it's opened. For the best taste, I recommend buying a small block and slicing it yourself at home. You'll get more flavor and save a little money, too. And what about feta? This is where labels really matter. Look for feta that's made from sheep's or goat's milk. That's the traditional and most beneficial version. It should be stored in brine, salt water, to keep it fresh. If the package says feta style or lists cow's milk first, it's a sign it's not the real deal. The real thing crumbles easily, has a creamy yet firm texture, and gives off a sharp but pleasant smell. Here's a simple tip for storing cheese at home: skip the plastic wrap. Use cheese paper or parchment paper instead. It lets the cheese breathe and keeps it from sweating or spoiling too quickly. Store it in the cheese drawer of your fridge if you have one, or in a loosely closed container. And don't forget this, portion size matters. You don't need to eat big chunks to get the benefits. A serving of cheese is about 1 to 2 ounces, roughly the size of your thumb or a pair of dice. That's enough to give your body the nutrients it needs without overloading it with fat or sodium. Lastly, cheese tastes best when it's not ice cold. Let it sit out for about 20 to 30 minutes before eating so the flavors really come alive. Smart shopping doesn't mean buying the most expensive cheese. It means choosing the right kind, in the right amount, and storing it properly so every bite supports your health and well-being. Part 5. The 3 cheeses to avoid after 50. Cheese to avoid. Number 1, processed cheese spreads. You've probably seen them in those little tubs or foil-wrapped blocks. They're soft, creamy, and easy to spread on a cracker or a piece of bread. And for many people, they've been a go-to snack for years. I've met plenty of folks in their 60s and 70s who say, "I've been eating this since I was a kid, it can't be that bad, right?" Well, here's the thing, your body isn't the same as it was when you were 30. After 50, your kidneys, your heart, and your digestive system work a little harder. That means what used to be okay might now be putting extra stress on your system, without you even realizing it. Let me give you a real example. My neighbor Frank, a retired mechanic and one of the most active 65-year-olds I know, was rushed to the hospital after a sudden spike in his blood pressure. The doctors looked at his diet and found one surprising habit: processed cheese spread every afternoon with his crackers. What felt like a harmless snack turned out to be loaded with salt and additives his body could no longer handle like it used to. Just one serving of processed cheese spread can contain up to 450 milligrams of sodium. That's nearly 20% of the recommended daily amount, and for someone with aging kidneys or high blood pressure, that adds up fast. But it's not just the salt. These spreads are filled with phosphates, artificial colors, emulsifiers, and preservatives. They're not real cheese, they're engineered products designed for a long shelf life. And unfortunately, they often lack the things you do need, like real protein and usable calcium. Food scientist Jennifer Roberts puts it plainly: processed cheese spreads aren't designed for health, they're designed to be cheap and last a long time. And while they're convenient, the inflammation they can trigger is a serious concern for older adults. So, what can you do instead? Try mashing a ripe avocado with a squeeze of lemon for a heart-healthy spread. Or better yet, use a small amount of real goat cheese on your crackers. You'll still get that creamy texture, but with real nutritional value your body can use. Cheese to avoid. Number 2, blue cheese. It looks elegant with its marbled blue-green veins and has that sharp, bold flavor that many people love. For years, it's been a favorite at wine nights, holiday parties, and family gatherings. But here's what many folks don't know: after 50, blue cheese can quietly become a real health risk. Let me share a quick story. Eleanor, a sharp and lively 70-year-old woman I met through a senior wellness group, prided herself on serving beautiful cheese boards for her book club. But one evening, after having just a few bites of her favorite blue cheese, she felt dizzy and lightheaded. Her blood pressure spiked, and she had to be taken to the ER. It wasn't until her doctor reviewed her diet that they figured out the trigger: tyramine, a compound found in aged cheeses like blue cheese. Tyramine is a naturally occurring substance that can raise blood pressure significantly, especially for people taking medications for depression, Parkinson's, or heart conditions. And unfortunately, our bodies get less efficient at breaking it down as we age. That means reactions like Eleanor's become more likely, even if you've eaten blue cheese without a problem for years. But that's not the only concern. Blue cheese also contains histamine, which can trigger inflammation, headaches, and allergy-like symptoms in sensitive individuals. Many older adults already deal with inflammation-related issues, joint pain, fatigue, digestive troubles, and blue cheese can quietly make those worse. There's also the issue of listeria, a bacteria that can be particularly dangerous for seniors. Because blue cheese has higher moisture content and is less acidic than harder cheeses, it creates a friendlier environment for bacteria to grow, especially if it's been sitting out too long or wasn't stored properly. Now, I'm not saying you have to banish blue cheese forever. But if you've got any health concerns, or you're on certain medications, it's worth thinking twice. If you love that bold flavor, there are safer choices. Aged Parmesan or Romano cheese offer rich, savory taste without the same tyramine levels or bacterial risks. You still get the gourmet feel, just with fewer worries. Cheese to avoid. Number 3, cream cheese. It's mild, it spreads easily, and it's a staple for so many of us. Whether it's on a morning bagel or used in a dip, cream cheese feels like a harmless little pleasure. But after 50, it's one of those foods that starts working against your body more than for it. I remember chatting with Janet, a 67-year-old retired librarian who couldn't figure out why she felt so sluggish in the mornings. "I get a full night's sleep," she said, "but I still wake up tired and heavy." After going over her routine, it became clear, her daily breakfast included a thick layer of cream cheese on toast. It was such a normal habit, she'd never connected it to how she felt. Here's what most people don't realize: cream cheese is high in saturated fat, yet very low in protein and almost completely lacking in calcium. That's a problem, especially after 50. Your body needs more protein to help preserve muscle mass. You also need calcium to maintain strong bones. Cream cheese gives you neither. In fact, a 2 tablespoon serving only has about 2 grams of protein, while the same amount of Swiss or Feta cheese gives you 3 to 4 times more, plus other nutrients your body can actually use. What cream cheese does deliver is saturated fat, which can quietly increase inflammation, strain your heart, and leave you feeling tired, not energized. Now, it's not about blaming cream cheese. It's about understanding that after a certain age, our food should be working for us, not just filling space. That same creamy texture and mild flavor can be replaced with smarter options. One of my favorite swaps. Plain Greek yogurt. Mix it with a little honey and you get a rich, creamy spread that gives you triple the protein, gut-friendly probiotics, and far less saturated fat. If you're dairy-free, a cashew cheese spread is another fantastic choice, rich, satisfying, and filled with healthy fats. It's easy to stick with what we've always done, but sometimes just one small change can make you feel noticeably better. Cream cheese might look harmless, but if it's part of your daily routine, especially in the morning, it could be the very thing slowing you down. Part 6. Non-dairy cheese alternatives that actually work. Now maybe you're sitting there thinking, all this cheese talk is great, but what if I can't have dairy at all? You're not alone. Lactose intolerance becomes more common with age, and for some of us, dairy just doesn't sit right anymore. I remember Charles, he's 73, sharp as ever, and a lifelong cheese lover. When he was diagnosed with lactose intolerance, he was devastated. "Cheese was one of my few joys," he told me. "Now I have to give it up." But the good news is, he didn't have to give up cheese completely. He just had to find what did work for his body. Let's break it down. First of all, not all cheeses are high in lactose. In fact, some aged cheeses, like extra sharp cheddar, Parmesan, and Manchego, have very little lactose, often less than 0.5 grams per serving. That's so low that many people who can't tolerate milk or ice cream have no problem digesting these cheeses. Why? Because the lactose gets broken down during the aging process. So if you miss the flavor and feel of real cheese, don't rule these out without trying a small portion first. You might be pleasantly surprised. Now, if you do need to go 100% dairy-free, there are still some great alternatives out there. Not all plant-based cheeses are created equal, though. Many of the ones found in big plastic blocks are just processed oils and starches with fake flavor, and not much nutrition. What you want to look for are cultured nut cheeses, especially those made from cashews or almonds. Brands like Miyoko's or Treeline use traditional fermentation, just like real cheese, so they develop that tangy, cheesy flavor naturally. Even better, they contain healthy fats, a bit of protein, and sometimes even probiotics. Another amazing option is nutritional yeast. Don't let the name throw you off. It's a flaky, yellow powder with a cheesy flavor that's great sprinkled on vegetables, popcorn, or pasta. It's also packed with B vitamins, which help with energy and become harder to absorb as we age. And don't forget, if you're cutting out dairy, you'll need to make up for the lost calcium. Good sources include leafy greens like kale and collards, canned salmon with bones, fortified plant milks, and yes, even tofu if you enjoy it. Back to Charles. After a few weeks of experimenting, he found a cashew-based cheese spread he loved. Honestly, he told me, I enjoy it just as much now. And I feel better knowing it's something my body can actually handle. So whether you're sensitive to dairy or avoiding it completely, you've still got options, and good ones, too. Cheese can still be part of your life, just in a form that supports your health rather than challenges it. Part 7. Simple recipes using the 3 super cheeses. Let's wrap things up with something fun and useful. Because now that you know which cheeses support your health, you might be wondering, how do I actually use them in my meals? Don't worry, you don't need to be a gourmet chef. In fact, the best recipes are the simple ones, the kind you can make in under 15 minutes, using ingredients you probably already have. Here are 3 easy recipes, each one featuring one of the super cheeses we've talked about. These are meals I personally enjoy, and I've shared them with friends who now swear by them, too. 1. Swiss breakfast melt. This is one of my go-to ways to start the day, especially when I want something quick, filling, and heart-healthy. What you need: 1 slice of whole grain bread. 1 to 2 thin slices of Swiss cheese. 2 slices of tomato. A pinch of dried oregano. How to make it: toast the bread lightly, then layer the tomato and Swiss cheese on top. Sprinkle with oregano. Pop it under the broiler for 2 minutes, just until the cheese is melty and bubbling. You're getting fiber, calcium, and vitamin K2 all in one bite. And it's a warm, satisfying start that keeps you going without that heavy feeling. 2. Mediterranean chickpea bowl. This one is light, fresh, and packed with nutrients. It's also super easy to throw together, no cooking required. What you need: half a cup canned chickpeas, rinsed and drained. Half a cup chopped cucumber. A handful of cherry tomatoes, halved. 1 tablespoon olive oil. 2 tablespoons crumbled feta cheese. How to make it: mix all the ingredients in a bowl and toss gently. Add a pinch of black pepper or a squeeze of lemon if you like. This bowl gives you plant protein from chickpeas and high-quality animal protein from the feta, a perfect combo for maintaining muscle strength after 50. Plus, the feta's probiotics are a nice bonus for your gut. 3. Herb roasted vegetables with goat cheese. This is one of those recipes that looks fancy, but is really easy. What you need: a mix of your favorite vegetables, like zucchini, bell peppers, sweet potatoes. 1 tablespoon olive oil. 2 tablespoons soft goat cheese. Fresh herbs like parsley or thyme, optional. How to make it: chop the veggies and toss them in olive oil. Roast in the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 minutes. In the last 5 minutes, sprinkle goat cheese on top so it softens but doesn't completely melt. Add herbs just before serving. The calcium and probiotics in goat cheese, paired with the fiber and antioxidants from the veggies, make this dish feel comforting, but nourishing at the same time. If you've noticed your body doesn't tolerate food the way it used to, or you're just looking to eat smarter after 50, this video is for you. Leave a comment and tell us, what's your favorite cheese? Is it on the healthy list, or the one to avoid? If you found this helpful, give the video a like, share it with someone you care about, and don't forget to subscribe to Wise Worthy for more guidance on aging well, inside and out.